Hello, I want to discuss 3 video game consoles: the Sony PlayStation 1, the 3DO, and the Sega Saturn. All 3 were 32-bit game systems, and in July of 1995, Sony announced that the Sony PS1 would be sold for $299. But the people at Sega decided to sell the Saturn for $399, and it failed miserably. The PS1 outsold the Saturn 5-1. And even the people at 3DO were smarter than Sega. Now, the 3DO was originally released in 1993, and it cost about $700. It was known as the rich man's video game console. But by 1995, the price of the 3DO had been dropped to $399. And in April of 1995, I read an article in a video game magazine about the 3DO. The article said the price of the 3DO will not drop below $399. You might want the price to drop, but forget it. The price is going to stay at $399. But just as soon as Sony announced that their PS1 was going to be sold for $299, 3DO dropped the price of their console to $299. See, Panasonic and Gold Star made the 3DO console for 3DO, and 3DO made Panasonic and Gold Star drop the price of their 3DOs. Because they knew, hey, nobody is going to pay $399 for our game console if they can get the Sony PlayStation for $100 cheaper. But Sega thought, oh, people will buy our console. They'll buy our console. They'll pay $399. But they were wrong. And I eventually, in 1999, bought the Sega Saturn at Kmart for $40. 10 times cheaper than it originally cost. Now, in 1995, I didn't have hardly any money, but I wouldn't have bought the Sega Saturn if I had Donald Trump's money. Even if I would have been a billionaire, I wouldn't have paid $399 for the Saturn. Why should I pay $100 extra for a console that was inferior to the Sony PlayStation? Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? So Sega, they screwed up. But as for the Dreamcast, I don't know why it failed. I mean, it was 128-bit. It was 4 times better than the Saturn, and they only charged $200 for it. And that game console should have been a huge success. I was proud to pay $200 for a Dreamcast. But just after 18 months, they discontinued the Dreamcast. And I felt then, and I still feel, that sucked. But I can understand why nobody wanted to pay $399 for the Saturn. Well, this has been my video. Thanks for watching.